as Kelly and I made our way east out of Arizona and headed to San Antonio. We wanted to take a little detour. Fort Stockton is 329 miles northwest of San Antonio and 240 miles east of El Paso, so it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. But it played a significant part in the settlement of the West, thanks to its location and the fact that it's the home of the Buffalo Soldier. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button and don't forget to hit that bell so that you'll be notified whenever we do an upload. And thank you for coming to Keeping History on Two Wheels. At first inception, the post known as Fort Stockton served as a camp, helping to establish a military presence in 1858 in the region. The location was a key stopover along the San Antonio-El Paso Road due to an abundant water supply, Comanche Springs. The spring water, said to issue from the ground like a sea monster, provided essential resources for travelers, including the Comanche, who maintained their own camp around the springs long before the military began to dominate the region. Although the arrival of soldiers, courtesy of Camp Stockton, reduced confrontation between conflicting forces, Native American presence wouldn't end completely until the arrival of the U.S. cavalry in 1867. The soldiers reoccupied the post after a brief abandonment during the Civil War. Establishing the post as Fort Stockton, the military post was garrisoned by 4 companies of the 9th Cavalry, including members of the famed Buffalo Soldiers. Today, the remains of the fort features restored, original, and reconstructed buildings and are highlighted by the Officers' Row, the Guardhouse, and the enlisted men's barracks. Together with the parade grounds, the surviving structures comprise a National Register Historic District. A visitor center provides an introduction to the history of Fort Stockton and of historic Fort Stockton Museum, located in the Barracks No. 1, features interpretive exhibits. African Americans served in the U.S. military during the Civil War and continued to serve afterwards. Many of these soldiers went on to fight in the Spanish-American War and the Philippine-American War. Although the pay was low, only $13 a month, many African Americans enlisted because they could earn more and be treated with more dignity than they often received in civilian life. In 1866, Congress established 6 all-black regiments, consolidated to 4 shortly after, to help rebuild the country after the Civil War and to fight on the western frontier during the Indian Wars. It was from one of these regiments, the 10th Cavalry, that the nickname Buffalo Soldier was born. American Plains Indians who fought against these soldiers referred to the black cavalry troops as Buffalo Soldiers because of their dark, curly hair, which resembled a buffalo's coat, and because of their fierce nature of fighting. The nickname soon became synonymous with all African American regiments formed in 1866. In addition to their military duties, the Buffalo Soldier also served as some of the first caretakers of the national parks. Between 1891 and 1913, the U.S. Army served as the official administrator of Yosemite and Sequoia National Parks. The soldiers were stationed at the Presidio of San Francisco during the winter months and then served in the Sierras during the summer months. While in the parks, the soldiers' duties included fighting wildfire, curbing poaching of the park's wildlife, ending illegal grazing of livestock on federal lands, and constructing roads, trails, and other infrastructure. In 1903, Captain Charles Young led a company of Buffalo Soldiers in Sequoia and General Grant, which is now Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Parks. Young and his troops managed to complete more infrastructure improvements than those from the previous 3 years. They completed a road to the Giant Forest and a road to the base of Morro Rock. Their work on these new roads allowed the public to access the mountaintop forest for the very first time. The Buffalo Soldiers regiments went on to serve the U.S. Army with distinction and honor for nearly the next 5 decades. With the disbandment of the 27th Cavalry on December 12, 1951, the last of the storied Buffalo Soldiers regiments came to an end. Mark Matthews was born in Alabama on August 7, 1894. He was an American veteran of the Second World War and a Buffalo Soldier. Born in Alabama and growing up in Ohio, Matthews joined the 10th Cavalry Regiment when he was only 15 years old, after having been recruited at a Lexington, Kentucky racetrack and having documents forged so that he would appear to meet the minimum age of 17. While stationed in Arizona, he joined General John J. Pershing's Mexican expedition to hunt down Mexican General Pancho Villa. He was later transferred to Virginia, where he took care of President Roosevelt and First Lady Eleanor's horses and was a member of the Buffalo Soldiers Drum and Bugle Corps. In his late 40s, he served in combat operations in the South Pacific during World War II and achieved the rank of First Sergeant. He was noted as an excellent marksman and horse showman. Leaving the United States Army a few years before it was integrated, Matthews then took a job as a security guard in Maryland, rising to the rank of Chief of the Guards and then retiring in 1970. After the war, he told stories of military experiences and grew to become a symbol of the Buffalo Soldiers. In his later years, he met with Bill Clinton and Colin Powell and also dedicated a barracks in Virginia in honor of the Buffalo Soldiers. Having experienced excellent health for most of his life, Matthews died of pneumonia at the ripe old age of 111. And having been credited with being the last remaining Buffalo Soldier, he was buried in Arlington National Cemetery. Thank you for coming to Keeping History on Two Wheels. And if you like this video, please hit the subscribe button and don't forget to hit that bell so that you'll be notified whenever we do an upload. And always remember, every trip starts with a step, and that step, well, it starts with you.